Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Warning: this video will contain spoilers for the 2001 Christopher Moeller graphic novel, Justice League, A League of One. It may also include discussions or images of violence, sexual situations, and drug use. Viewing beyond this point is a choice you have made, and you take responsibility for that choice. Thank you, and please have a great day.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's having fun. And I hope the universe is treating you fairly. Today's video is going to be, it's one book, two stories. The lead story is JLA, A League of One, which is a really good Wonder Woman story. And the second story is JLA Cold Steel, which is basically the Justice League in battle mechs. Both are real good stories. The lead story, A League of One, is one of the rare really good Wonder Woman stories. Wonder Woman is one of those characters that's real hard to write for. A writer, get my drink here. A writer has to be fairly knowledgeable in not only the DC universe, but Greek legend, Greek myth, how the Greek myths spill over into the Roman myths and legends. Wonder Woman is a really, like I said, she's a really difficult character to write really good, meaningful stories for. Grant Morrison, his three book run on the DC Earth 1 series is a really good series of books to pick up and read. They're excellent Wonder Woman stories. With Wonder Woman, you have to be able to tell a story without preaching to the audience, and that's difficult to do, especially when you're dealing with feminism, the corruption within the patriarchy and things of that nature. She is just one of those characters. It's kind of like in the Batman mythos, the villain, the Riddler, is hard to write to do a good Riddler story, simply because the writer themselves has to be an exceptional, fast thinker, intelligent thinker, and can think outside the box. That's the reason why so many Riddler stories in the comic books come across as campy or stupid, is because it's not that the writer's a bad writer. It's just the writer's mind doesn't think along the lines to do that. There's a Riddler storyline in Jeff Johns', it's either the second or third Earth 1 book that he did, that is exceptionally good because Jeff Johns was able to think outside the box. But I'm getting away from the main story. Here's my copy. This is the softback. This is the trade. The front and the back. The problem with this cover is it shows the battle mechs fighting the dragon. Doesn't happen. Two different stories smashed together. This was written and the art was done by Christopher Moeller. Written and all the art done by Christopher Moeller. One of the things that stands out is the art is painted. These are paintings that were made into comic panels. Now, I don't know if they were like gouache or oil or if they were digital paintings. I don't know. I haven't seen or found anything that tells exactly how they were done, but they're paintings. The art is top-notch art. Moeller, both the stories he tells, in the League of One and the Cold Steel, are fairly basic, bare-bones stories. But he tells them very well. The League of One, the original singles that came out, started in November of 2000 and ended in January of 2001. So 3 books, 3 singles. The Cold Steel was the first one started, the first Cold Steel, there's 2 Cold Steel stories, started in December of 2005 and ended in February of 2006. And the the second half of the Cold Steel story started in January of 2006 and ended in March of 2006. So you have multiple time periods of Moeller storytelling. I enjoyed all of it. I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed the stories. The basic premise of A League of One is basically Wonder Woman versus a dragon. It's kind of a D&D adventure set in modern Switzerland or 2001 Switzerland with gnomes that look like goblins. That is the bare bones of the story. The book starts out in 1348. We get the background of the dragon. Dracu Carfang is our dragon's name, our antagonist. And she likes killing people. They basically hunt her down, drive her underground, and force her to hide. And in this DC, in Moeller's Justice League universe, a dragon can physically remove their heart and hide it, and unless their heart is destroyed, then they can suffer all kinds of damage, all kinds of injury and stuff like that, and basically just have to go to ground and sleep. The story starts out with the Justice League doing Justice League things. You got solar flares, you've got a dust up in the Amazon. The Amazon's growing wildly. Vesuvius, the volcano, is erupting. And there you have a deadly solar flare heading toward Earth. And the Justice League is doing Justice League things to save the world, like kind of the way their everyday is. It's just kind of their everyday. We have Diana, or Wonder Woman. She's in a probe in the heart of Mount Vesuvius, basically planning this probe. She's in this kind of like super steel comic book proof, plot armored diving bell for lava. And the plans are she sets it up, sets the controls, and Martian Manhunter, John, will teleport her out. And that's what happens. And she does it. And there's a diatribe where they go into the fact that Martian Manhunter's greatest weakness is fire. He cannot deal with fire real well. Then on the Amazon, you have Batman and Barry Allen Flash taking care of Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is causing the Amazon to grow crazy, and it's interfering with farming and all kinds of other things. So Batman and the Flash are off taking care of that. And Superman takes care of the flare. Superman comes back. Correction, excuse me. I got things out over the whole thing in the Amazon with Poison Ivy, Batman, Flash. That takes place later in the book. That was my mistake. We'll get back to that. Wonder Woman, they get everything. She teleports back. Superman is showing up. They get this big stone pillar as a gift from the Pope for saving Italy from the volcano. It has all their names on it in alphabetical order. And Diana's like, look, I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to go back to Themyscira and peace out for a while. She goes back to Themyscira. She's hanging out. She's doing ritualistic Wonder Woman things. And some of her childhood mates show up and, hey, let's play. And Diana's like, hey, look, we can play for a little, we can hang out. But, I'm not a kid anymore. I've got obligations. And Justice League, I got the whole adulting thing going on. Her friends or mates from growing up, one's a naiad and the other one is a dryad, which are found in Greek mythology. They're kind of immortal beings that kind of stay in a childlike state for their existence. They're hanging out. There's some shenanigans. At one point, Diana gets turned into a mermaid, and they frolic and play and kick it for a while. Then they get done. They're tired. They're hanging out. Diana's like, "Hey, look, I need my legs back, people." So they give her her legs back, and they start talking about that I think it's the naiad who basically was hanging out with a satyr, which is half goat, goat from the waist down and human from the waist up. And in the Molar mythos, their two greatest things are telling secrets on people and getting a kiss from a naiad. And so she learns his secret that the Oracle of Delphi is going to give a prediction of Diana's death. And Diana gets her to spill this information. They go. They find out that that Diana's going to fight this, or the entire Justice League is supposed to fight this dragon. And all of them are going to die. Or that's how Diana interprets it. So Diana returns back to the Justice League. They're chilling. John's giving a briefing. Martian Manhunter is giving them a briefing on what's going on. This is where Batman and the Flash get dispatched to the Amazon to take care of the Amazon. Like I said, I messed up earlier, but Batman had noticed that Diana was rather acting in a very un-Diana way. Just being very to herself, being very quiet. One of the things that they talked about in the briefing, there's these huge thefts of gold and jewels and stuff in Switzerland. And John's like, for now, we're going to let the Swiss authorities handle that, and we're going to take care of these other things. So everyone gets dispatched. And Batman, like I said, Batman, being the world's greatest detective, Batman figures out there's something going wrong. And so after she leaves, he's nosing around her chair and finds fibers. So he takes the fibers, and while they're doing their thing in the Amazon, he sends Flash to go deal with Poison Ivy so he can do his detective thing with the fibers and stuff. And he finds that the fibers and stuff that were left on Diana's chair only found underground in Delphi, and so that kind of triggers some alarms. They apprehend Poison Ivy. They take care of her. They put her where she needs to go. They return to the Watchtower, which is the big space station that Bruce Wayne built or paid for. And they're up there chilling. And Diana just through a method of things, basically tricks and disables the other members of the Justice League. One of them being teleporting John, or Martian Manhunter, into the probe inside of Vesuvius with the fire, which renders him useless. She shoots Batman, Flash into space. This particular formation of the Justice League has the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. She steals his power ring, and basically, like I said, just disables him. Sends Superman on a rescue mission to save the other members of the Justice League that she shot out in space in little like capsules. And she takes the dragon on. She fights the dragon. There's some really good banter between her and the dragon, just well written. And she takes care, she defeats the dragon. And doing so, she, by all metrics that we use, dies. Her heart stops. Superman returns from saving everybody just in time to pull her from the ocean, do chest compressions, restarts her heart, and basically there's a big dust up between not really a dust up, there's an argument between Wonder Woman and than the rest of the Justice League. And the quote that I think is pretty cool is from Batman at the end, and it is, and I quote, because some Greek psychic high on inhalants told you we all might die, the JLA has, and it's a question, is it because some Greek, why? Because some Greek psychic high on inhalants told you we all might die. The JLA has taken on Darkseid and won, but we were all united doing this on your own. Doing this on your own just increases the chances that you'd fail. Which is a very Batman quote. Basically, my interpretation is that her dying was facilitated because, let's face it, people that make predictions use vague as fuck language so it can be interpreted any way. Diana mistakenly interpreted as the entire JLA, where possibly if she wouldn't have had the fuckery that she did, they would have came out of it fairly unscathed because, well, let's face it, Darkseid in the DC universe is the big baddie. Okay. And Batman does have a very valid point. Now, the cold case, the cold steel, excuse me, not cold case, is the JLA is doing their thing in space. They find a disabled spacecraft signal. It's a basic save the people, save the good guys from the weak, oppressed good guys from the bad guys. Like I said, the art is phenomenal. And we get to see the Justice League in battle mechs. And they fight the bad guys. And of course they win. It is, like I said, it's a 2-part story. It's a really good story. I'm not going to go into too much on it just simply because video length. But it's worth reading. The art is phenomenal. The Justice League and battle mechs, I mean, it's just cool. And the way they're shown, the way they're put together, it's a very awesome, very cool way they do it. I recommend reading both stories. I prefer the League of One. To me, that's a little bit better story. However, you're free to disagree. You're free to have a different opinion. And it's just as valid as my opinion. And like I said, this is one of those ones. And I also have to give a shout out to the good folks over at Comic Pop. I would have never picked this book up because I generally don't read collaboration stories or group stories. The stories involving multiple protagonists. Just simply, it's not my thing. It's not that they're bad stories or they're, well, not good stories. It's the fact that I have my preferences. But I'd stumbled across this video of theirs reviewing it, and I was like, you know what? I have to give this book a chance. So I picked it. I found it online, found a PDF, read it. Then I picked up a hard copy. This is a well-told story, well-done story. The art is top shelf, which I'm glad we live in an age where comic book art has evolved past the newspaper print quality that we have high art in comic books and graphic novels now. So, until next time, people, be a good human, be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?